culture. I mean, I want to take a pill and be skinny and never diet or exercise my whole life. And we do the same thing with relationships. We want an instant fix. And I would think there's no such thing as instant when it comes to rebuilding.
You got to catch this, first of all. I mean, Dave, I'm sure you agree with this, because I've experienced, if you have two people willing to work, you don't have to be a very good counselor, and you can help them.
Oh, you can.
But it starts with people being willing to work together, right?
It does, it does. But it also...
so there's not hope for people, I've got to say that, for people where one is willing and the other's not?
Miracles can happen, but basically it's not going to happen in this case.
But
so they're both
sometimes the heart gets willing and it comes like this. But sometimes it's one's willing, the other's not, and it goes like that too,
well,
right?
also the one might be unwilling because they don't feel like they've been heard. And so one of the goals in working with a couple, trying to help them really recover from this, is that both parties are on an equal plane. You're not the bad guy because you slept with somebody, and you're not the healthy, wholesome little chick because you didn't. So the point is, we got to get them on the same playing field. Right. But the other thing that's real important, I think, is this is not a good time to build a good history in a bad marriage.
A good history in a bad marriage.
So what we look for in recovery purposes is we want to find out how much good history you have. Now this is the kicker, okay? Couples always come in second session or so, want to know, can we make it? Well, I tell them this, and we lay it out on the floor, and there's a little chart they fill out. If 20% of your marital history is rated simultaneously at level 4 and 5 by both of you, meaning good, on a 1 to 5 scale, and it's connected, it's a contiguous part of your marriage, you have better than a 90% chance of reporting high-level marital satisfaction 2 years after the affair.
Okay, that is big. That's 20% is not all that much.
No, it's not.
If you're talking 2 out of 10 years, that's what I was thinking.
But if you got 2...
So don't go bad on 8.
But you got some good to draw on.
Yeah, that's right.
You can make it, right?
You've got to fall back on what they did good during the good years.
Now I try to help couples understand this, that the marriage unraveled for some reasons, and the affair happened. It wasn't just cause. We're not saying that. But they say, well, can we get back to normal? I say, I don't want you to get back to normal. I want you to go past the plane of where you were.
If it just gets back to where it was.
It can't be that again. It's got to grow and get resolved so we have something new going on, so we have strength, right?
That's right. And it's got to be very different. Now, one of the other things we always look for is we figure out when an affair started. Now, an affair does not start when there's sex. An affair starts when two people share mutual feelings of attraction for each other. I feel like I'm falling in love with you. Spoken, email, text message. They don't even have to touch each other. But from that point on, every contact they have together is supercharged with emotion. It means more than it should. So at that point, that's when the affair started. It might be 9 months before they get in the sack. But we start there and we go back 2 years. And what we look for in the 2 years prior to that are high stress, unusual stress, abnormal, stressful experiences.
And this is where the void comes in, right? That 2 years prior to this thing starting, right? I try to help couples understand it's not the cause. You know, if you have a difficult marriage, that means you need to get help with a difficult marriage. It doesn't give you excuse for an affair. But when there's issues going on, we've got to look at what is going on, what needs aren't being met, right?
Well, most couples ignore all that accumulated stress. They just think they're going to make it through, and as a result, they actually die in the process.
Okay, but we've kind of jumped over something that to me seems critical. If I'm going to be willing to go to that 20% that's good, and if I'm going to be willing to look at the 2 years before they started, what about even just dealing with the fact that my spouse cheated on me?
Oh, you need
and I'm sitting here as a woman going, oh my goodness, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I'm thinking it's all my fault.
Well, many times people do that automatically. You have to say it's not about you necessarily. It's about everything else that's been going on in the marriage or hasn't been going on in the marriage. But the point is, you still have got to figure out what you're going to do differently. And one of the things we talk about is, and everybody in the field, every researcher talks about it, you can't pay for affairs. You can't pay for adultery. You can't pay for the fact that you slept with somebody.
You don't get to hang it over their head the rest of their life?
No. So you have to go to forgiveness. Your view of what forgiveness means. But there's 2 levels of forgiveness, and it works like this. To the degree that you can forgive, to that degree you can start rebuilding respect. And to the degree you start rebuilding respect, to that degree you start rebuilding trust. And to the degree you build trust, you can start rebuilding love if you want to. Forgiveness, respect, trust, and love.
Okay, Dave, I'm sorry. I like that so much because you're not acting like it's a Band-Aid.
Oh, absolutely not.
And you're not acting like, forgive me, and I say, you're forgiven and we're done.
And it's critical because it's not a one-time step. It's a process.
That's
Forgiveness is a process. I have to regain that, regain trust, regain respect. I have to work through the forgiveness steps, right?
Exactly. And there's 2 levels of forgiveness. You have to
in 10 seconds.
That's right. You have to both forgive each other for how you hurt each other in the marriage. Nobody's a perfect spouse.
Right.
Everybody contributes to its deterioration over time. Then we tackle the affair.
Right.
Forgiveness.
Oh my goodness, it's like the tip of the iceberg. It's like we're just starting. There is so much to talk about. Please go to the website. Please check out Dave Carter's book. Thank you for the hope.
Yeah.
Thank you that there's hope to recover and that you're fighting for marriage.
Oh, yeah.
And get his book. Hey, get his book. It'll make a difference.
Oh, it's fabulous. Okay, we've saved the best even for the bottom line, so you've got to come back and stay with it.